Yo, what up? Back with another video. He killed a teen who flashed his kids and his family too. We about to see what it is. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the other videos on the channel, and yeah, let's do it.
When a man reported his neighbor exposing himself to his kids to the police, he grew frustrated when they weren't acting on it immediately. He decided to take matters into his own hands, and he took it out on more people than just that neighbor.
Mm.
There have been a good number of stories in the past where a father has taken it upon himself to attack someone who has abused his kids, and they're usually met with a lot of praise. I mean, after all, people don't tend to feel much sympathy for child predators. This story is a bit
I
different,
mean,
as
I
the
would,
father
I
went
would hope that like not a lot of people would, but yeah.
in a different direction that a lot of people felt was much too far. So with
Mm.
that, let's get into it. Today's story took place on West Brown Avenue in Kellogg, Idaho. This is where a couple of neighboring families shared different apartments in a small vertical duplex building. On the first story of this home, you had apartment A. This is where the Gardapi family, Kenna Gardapi, her father Kenneth Gardapi, and the two kids Devin Smith and Aiken Smith all lived together. Above them, on the second story in apartment B, was the Kaler family, consisting of Major John Kaler, his wife Kaylee, and their three kids. Everything went sour for these neighbors one day. While we can't know what happened exactly, the mother on the top floor, Kaylee, wrote on Facebook that she had been outside with her daughters when they saw the 18-year-old son of the family below them, Devin, in his window. She said that he exposed himself, was shaking his junk around, and was jerking
Oh,
it through the window for her and her daughters, both under the age of 13 at the time, to see.
oh, wait, who was doing that? He flashed. He killed his team, flashed his kid. It was a kid. It was a kid doing that to other kids. Wait, I'm
Whether or not this
confused.
is true is up for debate, but there is circumstantial evidence to show that it was. First off,
What?
someone who went to school with Devin has come to state to the media that he really was like that. One of his female classmates said that he did harass her at school and was known to be inappropriate.
So why? Wait, Devin Smith, 18 and a 16-year-old, her father, 5 days. Wait, who? Okay, so the kid's either 18 or 16. Okay, still not okay either way, but still though, if they knew this, why is he still like why did it why did it damn, how do I explain this? If they knew about this already, why they just didn't like get him out of there, report him to the principal or something?
A family friend of Devin's also told the media that he had a learning disability and struggled socially, saying that a program at school was trying to help him out, implying that his behavior was something known. Also, according to
Oh,
Devin's
that's how he got away. But like at the same time too, a learning disability doesn't make you a creep. Like it doesn't make you. There's plenty of people with learning disabilities and plenty of people without learning disabilities. They're still creeps. Like, is that how you got away with it? Like, that's. So you go out there and fire someone, and just say you have a learning disability, and it's okay. Like, what?
own uncle, he
Who is his parents, bro? Like, come
did
on.
have some sort of unspecified mental illness and was getting some amount of support from his family. Kaylee's husband, Major John, was understandably furious to hear about all of this after it happened. The family decided to call the police and tell them about the whole thing, hoping that they would take care of it somehow. The police came out on June 13th, 2023. When they did, it seems that the police found reason to believe that the accusations were true. Chief Paul Twid said, "We responded to the call, investigated the call, and the report was done that day and submitted to the prosecutor's office for charges." While speaking to the officer, Major John told him that the only reason he didn't take matters into his own hands that night was because he had just had shoulder surgery. However, he told the officer honestly that he would handle it and, quote, "somebody's going to get hurt if it happened again. If something
Damn.
happens again, I'm not going to call you guys," he added. Although no arrest was made that day, the prosecutors were recommended to charge Devin Smith with a misdemeanor count of indecent exposure. The
Okay.
prosecutors told the reporting
Okay.
officer that the charge would be filed. However,
Okay. Good. Like now he got charged, so it shouldn't be nothing crazy.
they didn't get around to it immediately. While the charges were in the pipeline, they didn't make that public, leading to the Kaler family assuming that they had blown them off and weren't going to do much about it. Over the next several days, the Kaler family was left fuming. Each day got a little more intense as they felt that Devin had likely gotten away with it.
Hmm.
Major John and Kaylee began to talk about what they would do if an incident like that happened again. When Major John said that he would hurt someone, Kaylee assumed he meant he would go and beat him up. Over chat, the two of them began to share images and memes related to the incident. One of them was the infamous photo of Gary Plausch, the father who shot his son's abuser on the news
Oh,
for all to
damn.
see. Major John also shared a meme of the same photo with the text, "How to Catch a Predator," and a drawing of Gary Plausch firing his gun.
Bro.
When June 18th came around, Major John took a carpool to work to go work in the mines. It had been 5 days since they had reported Devin to the police, and he was getting very antsy that nothing had happened. On the ride to work,
But
Major
the Oh, they probably didn't report anything because he's underage, huh? He's under 18. But also at the same time too, it happened to those victims. So wouldn't the victims want to know that he's getting charged and something's being done? Why did the station like I've never heard of something like that. Like why is the station handling it like that? Like if they checked up on the case, what do they tell them? Like it's in progress or
John implied to his boss that he might be going to jail soon. Safe to say, his boss didn't assume that he was being serious. When Major John came home from the mines that Sunday evening, he was ready to get something done himself. A
damn.
surveillance video was taken from a nearby business that showed the outside area of their duplex. Major John was seen coming home from work, going inside for a bit, and then coming out again to walk around the yard. He was seen walking near the business where Kenna, the mom who lived upstairs, worked. Then he was seen ducking behind a trailer where he had a very good view of their shared backyard space. In that area was the back door to the first floor apartment where Devin lived. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that he was scoping out the scene. Major John went inside and put a gun in his holster and an extra magazine in his pocket before going back out to water the plants in the shared backyard. While he and his wife were out there, Kenna came outside. They all got into an argument over Devin. Both Major John and his wife felt that she wasn't taking the situation seriously at all. Major John later said of the argument, quote, "They were saying there's nothing you can do about it. He can do whatever he wants. They were smarter
What?
than fuck. There's no way to politely say, there was no remorse. There was no we're
What?
sorry, or
What? See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Who is his parents? Because, bro, his parents allows this. Like, his parents are okay with bro doing that, and they're gonna just blame it on disability and everything. Like, bro, like your child's in the wrong. Like, why couldn't you learn and teach them right? Instead, you are justifying it and out here, you know what I'm saying, acting crazy, bro, when he's in the wrong. What is that? Like, uh, some people, bro, like really just should never have kids ever in their life, bro, because or it shouldn't be a parent or any figure to be looked up to because they're horrible.
yeah, it's a problem and we're working
What
on it.
up?
Nothing. While that is only his description of the conversation, it's very evident that the argument didn't go smoothly. While Major John's wife was a little further away in the yard, he abruptly pulled out his handgun and fired it at Kenneth's chest. Once she fell to the
What?
ground, Major John turned his gun to her father, Kenneth. He shot him in the chest as well, sending him collapsing to the ground. Once they were down, Major John walked over to each one of them and ducked down to shoot them each one more time, with the gun pressed up against their temples. Major John then made his way into the home through the still open back door. Inside was the 16-year-old son, Aiken Smith. It appeared that he had hit the ground after hearing the shots, as he was lying
What?
down in a prone position on the floor. Major John made his way over to him as well and shot him at point-blank range where he laid. Then
Oh.
he finally made his way over to his main target, that being Devin. He shot him multiple times from close range, hitting him all over the chest. It was said that, based on the total amount of bullets fired, he had to reload before he began firing even more shots at him. In the end, 4 of the bullets hit Devin. With that, the whole family was gone and Major John was done. At 7:20 p.m., the police got their first call that the entire family had been executed. Major John had been the one to call the police himself. He told the dispatcher, "This is Major John Kaler. I just went downstairs and executed a fucking pedophile and his family." The dispatcher, making sure
Damn, honestly, I thought he was gonna go on the run. I am not gonna lie to you. That is so insane, bro. Like, look, I understand. I'm not justifying it. I understand, but at the same time, too, bro, you gotta think like he really went in there and did that to a kid, like did that to a teen, bro. Like it wasn't no grown man. It wasn't no someone that really is knows and more well of what they're doing. But like, bro, he he went in there and did that to those kids and the family. Like, bro, that is so insane. I honestly would have wished that he never ever even did anything like that, because not just because of the lives that were lost, but like, bro, come on. Now, excuse me. But what is his daughter supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is his daughter supposed to do? His wife supposed to do? He's locked up forever. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, he should have handled that a little more with a little more grace. You know what I mean? You gotta be a little more cool under pressure, especially when you're carrying, bro. Because anyone messed up, slipped up emotion, bro, will get you behind bars, bro. And he's probably never getting out. Be honest,
That they had heard him right, responded, "You shot somebody?" He replied with a blunt, "I shot 4 people. They're all dead."
bro.
He walked over to his wife and gave her his phone, keys, and wallet. He asked her to please tell the kids that he had protected them. He then placed his handgun in his truck and waited for the police to show up. Shortly after, they got another call saying that shots had been fired in the neighborhood. This person on the phone told them someone executed his neighbors. The police were already on their way out to the scene, and they arrived there only minutes later. One sergeant arrived on scene and saw Major John just standing there in the middle of the street. When another officer, Sergeant Blasky, arrived, Major John was very willing to tell him what had happened. According to the court documents, the conversation went like this. Blasky asked Major John, "What's going on?" To which he replied, "I just shot all 4 of my neighbors." Blasky shot back with a confused, "You what?" And Major John clarified, again saying, "I shot all 4 of my neighbors." Blasky collected himself a little and asked, "Okay, do you have the firearm on you?" To which he responded, "No, it's put away." Blasky seemed relieved, only saying, "Okay." Major John let them know that he was the one who called the cops. Blasky then said, "Drop down to the ground now." Major John said that he would, but told them that his shoulder was broken. Blasky said, "Okay, drop down on the ground." With a "that's fine," Major John complied. Blasky then asked him one more time, "You shot 4 people?" To which he said,
Four?
"Yep."
Yes.
Blasky waited for a second before saying, "Okay." Major John then explained himself more, saying, "The neighbor
What's crazy is that he does not regret that. I promise you, in his mind, completely, he does not regret that. I'm not justifying it, but like I tell you, like I understand, bro. I understand, but it's still such a crazy thing to even think about. I would definitely say, bro, definitely regrets the time that he's gonna have to be away from his family, but I know he doesn't regret it. And I even at the end of the day too, it sucks to say, but if you're not willing to, you know what I'm saying, die, you know what I'm saying, go to jail for, even if worst comes to worst, have to even defend yourself and your family and potentially harming or, you know what I'm saying, permanently harming someone or killing someone, like, bro, you shouldn't even have a family or anything, because, you know what I mean, that's just a different type of responsibility that you have to take. But I do think that bro should never have handled it like this for real. And the officers and the case or whatever like should have let them know that it was being handled, because now the situation could have been avoided for real.
neighbor's a pedophile. I've called the cops twice, they've refused to do anything." Blasky evidently wasn't really moved by his words, only saying, Okay, don't move." And Major John complied. Blasky then noticed a neighbor standing nearby and told her, "I'm going to pat you down for weapons." This neighbor didn't seem to mind. Major John then called out, "She's got nothing to do with this. She's just a neighbor." Major John then went on to explain to the cops that Devin had exposed himself to his wife and children through a window. This time he said that it had happened 3 times in total. He said that they had called the cops twice, but nothing was ever done. He then said that the cops personally told him that nothing could be done, which evidently wasn't the case, being that the charges were set to be filed. He ended his explanation, saying, "So I decided to do something about it." He was arrested shortly after. The medical examiner came to determine the way that Devin and his family had been killed. The police noted on their own that they found both blood and tissue on Major John's gun, a .45 caliber high-point semi-automatic pistol.
Oh my god, he's walking around with a high point. I didn't even know that was a real thing. I thought people just get high points because like it's a joke gun. Like, why is he walking around with a high point? That's insane, bro. Like, save up another $100 and you'll get any better alternative to a high point. That's so insane, bro.
Which was consistent with very close-range shots. While speaking to investigators, Major John told the police that he had snapped and lost it over what had been going on. He
Hmm.
was very upset that Kenna and her father didn't take the concern seriously. His wife stated very much of the same, saying he told her he did what he had to do, and to tell the kids he protected them. Major John was thrown into jail without bail. He was looking at a whole lot of time in prison. If he was found guilty, he could even face the death penalty. It's safe to assume that he
Damn.
thought the jury in a case like this would be on his side. After all, fathers
Nah.
have gotten lesser sentences for killing pedophiles in the past.
Nah, but it's like how he went about it, bro. Like I'm telling you, he'd made sure like they were all dealt with. I'm telling you, bro. He double tapped all of them. Like there's no way that is like this. They'll feel for him and they'll sympathize with him, but they're not gonna sympathize that much because at the end of the day, too, you got to remember he killed the two kids. Like he unalived two kids as well. You got to remember that. Like that is also something that's insane, bro. Like nothing. It's so crazy because it wouldn't even. I don't even think it would be ever get to that point unless it's like a real life or death situation. I have no choice, but I couldn't even fathom going that way and putting down a kid, bro. That is so insane. It's nah, bro. That is so crazy.
However, most of those fathers didn't go on to exterminate their target's entire family one by one.
Yeah, and it was the
That was
entire
going to make
family,
this
not
case
just.
pretty
And it was the entire family. It wasn't just the kid, the person that did it. It was the entire family that you also have to look at. Like, bro, that's no. There is no way. I don't even think he gets manslaughter or crime of passion. I promise you, I don't even think he gets that.
different. He was facing, of course, 4 charges of murder. He was also looking at a felony burglary charge for his entering into the apartment. It was found that he had a sporadic history of criminal charges throughout his life in the past, mostly related to traffic offenses, drugs, or battery. The mother he
Damn.
killed, Kenna, had a friend who set up a GoFundMe page for the rest of her family on her behalf. She said that the whole family didn't deserve what had come to them, adding that the 16-year-old Aiken had to pay for a crime that he had nothing to do with. It said that Kenna and the rest of the family never got to tell their side of the story either. The fundraiser
Uh,
stated, they were good people. They did not in any way deserve for their whole family to be wiped out.
yeah, and I
The
agree.
prosecuting
I
attorney,
agree.
Ben Allen, called the whole thing horrific. He added, admissions were ultimately made to the offenses charged, pointing out that there wasn't going to be much of a debate in the courts. The police chief stood by the opinion that his officer, who took Major John's original report, hadn't really done much to inform the family that the charges were being filed. They don't normally do that. He said, I stand by what my officer did, and he did everything he could at the time. Nobody could have foreseen anything like this. During his first court appearance, Major John was still denied bond. He was ordered to stay in jail for the time being. Another hearing was set for July. The prosecution and the defense began to mediate. It was here that they decided upon a possible plea deal. Major John could enter a guilty plea to 4 counts of murder, and in exchange they would downgrade the charges from first to second-degree murder. In addition, they would also dismiss the felony burglary charge. In December, he formally pled guilty to some of those lesser charges, those being to the 4 counts of second-degree murder. The case would come to drag on for a little while. Nothing would be finalized until a few months later in March
Where
of
are they
2024.
at?
This was when his sentencing would finally take place. Both his family and the victim's extended family were there to see it go down. He walked into court wearing his jail outfit, his handcuffs, and shackles around his ankles. Major John's court-appointed attorney argued on his behalf, saying that the government had failed both him and his family in their inaction. He said that, even though he had reported what Devin was doing to the police, they never acted. The judge
Yeah, no, I do think that's on the cops, bro. There is no way. I'm telling you right now, there is no way. If and maybe if he didn't ask, then I understand. Then it's on him. But if he did ask and he followed it twice, and there's still nothing to be done, what else that guy's supposed to think? Like, bro, they're getting away with this, and then they're rubbing it in his face. Like, you know what I'm saying? At this point, what else is he supposed to think about it? Bro, it should have. If he asked them and they said we're doing something about it, then that's different. But if they are not giving him no answer, like yes, they will be charged, yes, they will be booked. Like that's all he had to say. That's literally all they had to say. Like, and what is the time frame of these? If he did it twice and they called them twice, at this point, bro, you gotta understand that like some people are gonna get frustrated, especially since they live across the street from each other.
Offered to allow Major John to speak for himself, but he declined. He simply said, "No, thank you." The
Mm.
prosecuting attorney asked for a flat 50 years in prison. Major
Flat
John's attorney
50?
requested that he just be let out on parole. That was going to be a very hard sell considering he had killed 3 more people than just
I'm
Devin,
saying, yeah.
including the 16-year-old son who wouldn't have had control over
I'm
anything that was
saying,
going
and
on.
he
The
killed, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. He killed the little kid, bro. Like that is so hard for me to even try to think about because he really had nothing to do with it. In all actuality, like if he, man, bro, he should have. If it was just that, he should have just took it out on the person that it was supposed to be taken out of, not the child, the whole family. Because that what that tells me if, bro, if they had a baby in there, or if they had just a little kid, like a little 11-year-old, 10-year-old, 13-year-old in there, but you would have probably done the same thing. But that's insane, bro. Why would you even go that far? Look, I'm very pro no pedos. You feel me? Get rid of them, but not going this crazy. This is insane.
judge came to hear a number of victim impact statements provided by members of the victim's extended family. They were addressed to either the judge or to Major John himself. One family member said, "Words will never describe the loneliness I feel daily. All of us have had our lives changed to grief." Kenna's mother added, "We lost 3 generations. I haven't seen, heard, or touched my kids in 9 months. I
Damn.
can't sleep." The grandfather, Kenneth's brother, spoke as well. He had some harsh words for Major John. He said, "You just snapped. Did you snap when you told a coworker you were going to do something that would get you in trouble later? Did you snap when you loaded 2 magazines to the maximum with ammunition? Did you snap when you strapped on a semi-automatic pistol? Did you snap when you crept around casing the apartments, looking for your victims prior to the incident? Did you snap when you confronted them and continuously pulled the trigger until both magazines were empty?"
Damn.
He ended by saying, "What a man you are. Not only did
Oh shit.
you destroy my family, but yours as well." While Major John had been looking at 50
Wow.
years in prison previously, the
He is getting life, bro. I don't even like. I genuinely think he's getting life.
judge decided against it after hearing the impact statements. Instead, he was sentenced to life in prison without the
Yeah,
possibility of parole.
bro.
His lawyer argued for him to see parole at some point, but the judge refused
Nah,
it.
bro.
Major John himself gave
Nah.
no reaction at all when the sentencing was handed down. It seemed that he had accepted the outcome. The family of the victims were happy with the outcome themselves. Kaylee Kaler, Major John's wife, continued to show support for him on Facebook for quite some time. However, as of about a year after Major John's sentencing, it
I'm so grateful to have someone so good, not to only me, but also my children. You are.
seems she's moved on and gotten herself a new boyfriend.
What? Bro. Bro, this is so sad. What? And he put BTA for y'all, bro. And y'all go, man, I don't know the situation. Maybe he was like, I wanted you to move on or something, but like, damn, bro. Because was she saying in the other one? Happy Father's Day to the best dad ever. I see all the things you do for your kids. You work hard, you stand your ground, and don't give up. You're the exact person I want our kids looking up to. Our lives together is the greatest. I am so amazingly lucky to have someone like you as a father to my children. The kids and I love you. Can't wait to get you. Can't wait. What? For you to get home from work. Oh, bro. Man, that's crazy, bro. I mean, yeah, I don't know the situation. Maybe good for
Once
them.
again, thank you for watching my video.
Yeah, bro, that's insane. Let me know what y'all think about it. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out the other videos on the channel, and then y'all be safe, y'all be easy, y'all be smooth. Appreciate y'all.